spotlight those semiconductors. Hot than not. Keith Townsend's with us, global advisor at the Futurum Group. You know, I was thinking about Nvidia, and everybody had that FOMO, and they all jumped on. And it did go up to 140, but Nvidia is at 112 today. This is less than it even was after the split, and it went down. I mean, you know, the group that was so hot took a little breather, but still is incredible. I mean, if you look year to date, it's up 127%. So what's going on with the hype around these names?
Yeah, so everyone is excited about NVIDIA. I think one of the challenges that NVIDIA needs to answer is, one, is there fatigue around NVIDIA chips? Not in the sense that there's shrinking demand. Everybody wants them. XAI, Elon Musk's AI startup, just made a big splash with 100,000 chip orders. But I think there's this question amongst experts on whether or not these companies, these large hyperscalers, can deploy all of these chips and put them at use. So is NVIDIA gated? And now we're thinking through, well, if NVIDIA is gated, where can we get this need? As we look in the traditional data center AI at Intel, Intel just had a massive restructure around their DC AI business. And the big question is, have they, one, righted the ship? And then two, has the traditional demand for enterprise AI chips caught up with the enterprise, not these big hyperscalers, but where's the opportunity for the Intels and the folks that haven't hit the market yet, such as Grok?
Right. You know, I have to say, most of the guests that come on still like NVIDIA for the long term. In fact, one who came on yesterday said, you know, I wouldn't buy even AMD. It's like NVIDIA's little brother, and forget it. Like, you know, if you're gonna buy, still go for the biggest and the best. Don't try and buy AMD because you think it's less or whatever, you know. But the group, AI, we still need everything, right? I mean, would you buy the SMH? Would you buy some of these names for a year or 5 years and hold them?
Yeah, I think we forget that this is a symbiotic relationship. AMD, Intel, ARM chips, so Samsung, Qualcomm, those traditional players in the data center space, GPUs don't work upon themselves. For every 4 to 8 NVIDIA chips, you're going to sell 2 to 4 traditional data center chips. So Intel Xeon, AMD Avid, the Snapdragon is and Qualcomm is making a big noise. These AI PC chips that Dell, HP, Lenovo, they all release these on the client side, these chips that are competing really well with NVIDIA. I still like NVIDIA. There is no substitute for NVIDIA for the big training use cases. Those are going to continue for the next 2 to 3 years.
In a moment that would send shockwaves through the IT and finance industries, Elon Musk, the ever-evolving entrepreneur, turned on xAI's newest supercomputer, which is estimated to have 100,000 NVIDIA U100i GPUs for $4 billion. According to Musk's own statements, Marvel is currently the most potent AI training cluster in the world, illuminating the darkness at 420 AM, the implications for NVIDIA. A leader in AI already experiencing rapid growth could not be more exciting. Recently, the company's stock has been in the news for a number of reasons, including notable investments like Musk's and its calculated moves in the Chinese market. NVIDIA is in the spotlight like never before, with analysts predicting significant growth and political figures like Nancy Pelosi making significant investments. We will discuss this question in today's video. But first, if you want to stay up to date on the latest news on NVIDIA and the stock market, subscribe to our channel. We provide daily updates about the biggest changes and market catalysts. So click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon if you don't want to miss the newest market updates. All right, back to today's video.
NVIDIA is the biggest of the tech companies, or one of the biggest. And stocks up over 125% so far this year. We've seen that pull back from all-time highs above $140 a share, Alex. So, you know, maybe some profit taking, maybe some caution as the big tech rotation trade takes out. But I haven't seen anybody come out and say, hey, we expect slower growth, or we're not going to have an earnings beat at the end of August.
Yeah, at some point, though, this has just been a name that the run's been pretty extreme. Maybe a little bit of a game of kind of musical chairs or hot potato, where it was sort of, hey, as long as it's keep going up, I'm okay increasing the risk. But the second it turns, maybe the confidence that this has maybe gone a little bit too far, maybe the expectations gotten a little bit too high. Consider, it's not just beating today, it's not just beating by a lot today, it's basically doing this into perpetuity to maintain, a 40x multiple when you're a $3 trillion company. Now, granted, it's not a $3 trillion company anymore, it's come down a lot. $27, we're talking about a lot of outstanding shares when it comes to Apple. You're looking at every single dollar being $24.6 billion in market cap for Nvidia. So it's a huge, huge number that has been basically taken out of the value of this company just in the last few weeks. But it does seem that while we're not necessarily working at an extreme pace lower, these dips that are being bought are lasting less and less time lately.
Right.
This is similar to what you're seeing in the overall market, but I think it begins and ends here. The stock has had a couple big gaps lower. And it's certainly been met with buyers. That makes sense. It's been the winner in the market. There's going to be a thinking of, hey, this is an opportunity to get into this name. But we're quickly, and we saw it yesterday. I mean, the stock traded down to 106, and it was like a snap of the finger. It lost, $250 billion in market cap. Now, granted, it came back, but it was unable to take out yesterday's high today. It fell from that level right at the open. Even as the market is making new highs intraday, Nvidia is still a good $3 off its highs intraday. So I do think there's been a sea change here.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's going to go down to double digits. Maybe it will. And maybe earnings will have a part in that down the road, but we don't hear from them till the last week of August. Perhaps increase of implied volatility, sideways trending name. Oftentimes that's how breakdowns happen. Start by going up, then you go sideways, then you go down. Maybe perhaps if there's going to be either a breakout or breakdown, maybe we have to.
The stage for this week's excitement was set by Elon Musk's recent announcement on the Memphis supercluster, which uses Nvidia's H100 GPUs. For those who are keeping score, each of these GPUs runs between $30,000 and $40,000, placing Musk's investment at a staggering $4 billion, or nearly 67% of the $6 billion his AI startup xAI raised in May 2024. Nvidia's success has been resounding in terms of the stock market, grabbing the interest of investors worldwide. With the Memphis supercluster training starting at 4:20 a.m. local time, Musk joyfully tweeted, "Nice work by XI Team X Team Nvidia and supporting companies. This is the most powerful AI training cluster in the world." In other noteworthy news, Nvidia has been working on a new high-performance AI processor, especially for the Chinese market. This action sends a clear signal. Musk is also well known for his stock market prowess. Reuters reports that despite the U.S. government's restrictive actions, Nvidia is not retreating from one of its main markets for its hardware. With shipments of the B20 chip and related processor technology expected to start in China by Q2 2025, Nvidia is making an effort to adjust to the current geopolitical unrest. But who would have thought they could manage it so well? On a more positive note, let's talk about the big issue. Papers reveal Nancy Pelosi's recent purchase of Nvidia shares. She added another feather to her cap of insightful market forecasts when she bought between $1 million and $5 million worth of Nvidia stock. But what does Pelosi's move reveal about Nvidia stock? Hi everyone, and welcome back to Returning to Investing Tutorial. AI remains worth watching segment for global investors in 2024. But how do you keep up with the AI sector and others that you may be interested in? I recommend trying Moomoo, a sponsor of today's video. Some features to discover stocks with investment potential has blown me away. You can use the industry chain to find companies throughout the entire AI sector, or use the stock screener to filter stocks according to your investment strategy. Having the option to set parameters like industry, market indicators, financial indicators, technical indicators, and more. Ultimately, discover potentially undervalued stocks and those that appear to show buy signals to help inform your strategies in an effort to capitalize on ad-related opportunities. At the same time, Moomoo is one of the cheapest trading platforms I've found. It offers zero commission on stocks, options, and ETFs. After comparisons, I've discovered the fees are among the lowest. Right now, new users who open an account using my link and make a qualified deposit can get up to 15 free stocks, enjoy a limited time 8.1% APY on idle cash for 3 months, and earn up to $300 cash reward for transferring in their portfolio. These rewards can be earned together, so don't miss out. And thanks again to Moomoo for sponsoring this portion of the video. This action buy provides another evidence of Nvidia's intriguing potential. The positive attitude surrounding Nvidia is not limited to dinners and discussions in Washington. Not to be outdone, Piper Sanders' Harsh Kumar increased his one-year price objective for NVDA from $120 to $140 per share, noting positive company trends and the upcoming October introduction of the Blackwell processor platform. Loop Capital analyst Ananda Baruah went one step farther and predicted a target price of $175 per share. Given this background, Nvidia's data center division alone might generate revenues that greatly exceed Wall Street's projections, with estimates ranging between $215 billion and $240 billion for 2025. Despite the fact that Nvidia's chips power everything from gaming consoles to cloud computing infrastructure, the stock market's enthusiasm surrounding the company appears to be based on solid ground. Furthermore, Nvidia manages to remain critical to the future of technology, not only riding, but also steering the wave of AI advancements. This brings us to the perhaps underappreciated fact that Nvidia's stock has recently taken a small dip, falling 133% over the past month. However, shrewd investors view this as a buying opportunity, partially due to geopolitical concerns like possible restrictions from the Biden administration on advanced chip sales to China. Although the price of Nvidia's stock has somewhat dropped in the long run, this decline may present a desirable entry point for new investors. The slight decline even caused Nvidia's price-to-earnings ratio to drop by 13% in 30 days, possibly opening up shares for new investors. The company's resilience in the face of geopolitical tension is noteworthy, as the growing tension between the U.S. and China has raised concerns about possible disruptions in the chip supply chain. Strategic foresight is demonstrated by Nvidia's dedication to partnering with other tech giants and driving local production. By the end of the century, new U.S. manufacturing facilities will be up and running, reducing Nvidia's reliance on Taiwan and lowering the danger of geopolitical unrest. Part of what makes Nvidia so alluring is its constantly growing market share of 70% to 90% in AI chips. This company is a given in discussions about the direction of technology. Tech giants like Amazon, Microsoft, and Meta are all devoted Nvidia customers, and their reliance on Nvidia's GPUs speaks volumes about the stability and growth trajectory of the company. Additionally, Nvidia's reach extends into the gaming world thanks to its exclusive partnership with Nintendo. The Nintendo Switch has sold over 141 million units, making it the third best-selling game console ever. Is Nvidia stock a good buy right now? Let's start by saying thank you if you made it this far into the video. These videos take a lot of time and effort to make, so if you enjoy them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This greatly aids in our development. A sequel is expected by March 2025, which could further boost Nvidia's revenue and sustain investor optimism in the company's potential.
Let's get more on Nvidia. Go back there in the AI trade with the Milius head of technology research, Ben Reitzes. Ben, welcome. Good to have you with us.
Hey, Tyler. Great to be here.
Is what's been going on we sort of touched on it with Karen a moment ago, is what's been going on with NVIDIA a kind of expectable phenomenon, something we've seen before? So an investor who is in there for the ride and goes, oh boy, we were down 15% last week. Is this the end of the game here? Should I be out of it? What's going on here?
Well, I think that NVIDIA has these moves intra-quarter where people find themselves underweight and they have to catch up, and then it runs, and then there's all sorts of things. This last week, there was a rebalance, and I think a lot of people were playing that, and then it kind of unwound, and it created a big move. But in general, NVIDIA has nailed the full stack approach. The only thing that I've experienced like this is, well, maybe two things. Maybe the Wintel monopoly of the 90s, or duopoly, whatever they were, and then Apple getting the iPhone. And the full stack approach, when people nail it, when a company nails it, is able to generate a disproportionate share of the profits for that sector. And in their case, some people argue it's like all the profits.
Well, that sounds like you're describing the word we used earlier, and that is ecosystem. That they have built it, they own it, it is their game to lose.
That's right. What they did, well, the foresight that they had is unparalleled. They that's why we were kind of laughing when some people asked me, are they being investigated? Like, for what? For foreseeing the biggest tech change ever, and they should be punished? But okay. But what they did is they built a language, a computing language, and an ecosystem that allows you to monetize AI, and obviously they're killing it. And I think that people, this is probably got the most upside of the Mag 7 that we cover, even though we really like Apple and a few others.
Questions, thoughts?
There has never been a more compelling time to invest in this AI titan because of how closely the company's fortunes are tied to the burgeoning field of artificial intelligence and its ever-expanding presence in a variety of technological sectors. The current dip in Nvidia's stock offers a relatively affordable entry point for those who are optimistic about the company's future and its strategic global market expansions and ongoing innovation, such as the arrival of Blackwell and Rubin Puss, highlight its potential growth prospects. The slight decline in Nvidia's stock that is now occurring does not reflect the company's potential. It has increased by 170% year to date and is just a short distance from reaching an astounding $4 trillion valuation. Significant investments and endorsements from seasoned investors like Paul Pelosi have solidified this reputation, given strong predictions from industry analysts to exercise caution. While staying on the sidelines could mean missing out on big gains, as Nvidia continues to dominate the AI hardware field, one might employ a phased investment strategy like dollar cost averaging to limit risks while capitalizing on immense oncoming growth. The last comment: watch Nvidia closely. It's more than simply a stock. It's a major participant in AI and technology. Do you believe that Nvidia's quick developments and the company's astute business decisions make it a compelling investment? How do you think China's growth is being impacted by the changing dynamics between the U.S. and China? Talk about your ideas and participate in the discussion. After all, knowledgeable viewpoints are the real treasures in the rapidly fluctuating stock market. Go ahead and click the next video on your screen to see what businesses like Nvidia have been up to these past few days. I'll see you there.